so we're back to this. New Pure Fiction is out, and you might have noticed something different. We are actually on my EU account, and I wanted to do this with a Clara March team and just abuse the whimsicality mechanics, but unfortunately Hoyo decided to add entire waves of enemies that don't attack you, so that's not gonna work. So we're just gonna use our Acheron team and hope for the best. No matter what, second half with Himeko Herta is gonna carry, but you're gonna see just how scuffed some of my builds are at the end. This account is still pretty fresh, so don't expect anything too crazy. For now, I'm just trying to get all the endgame rewards, but let's talk Pure Fiction strategy. So you might notice me not popping Acheron ult, even though I could, and now I'm overstacking, but it's just so that I can build more Aventurine stacks, which builds more whimsicality. That way we can advance our progress further without actually taking any turns. Whimsicality is free damage, and that's why I like the Fall of Attack Pure Fictions. They're way less restrictive than the dot ones, because you just have a much bigger pool of characters that you can use that just have follow-up attacks in their kit, and you can make use of them, cheese the mechanics. This one in particular gives you a stack of whimsicality for each target hit by a follow-up attack, so of course it's a Jade Shill. No problem though, because we have Herta, we have Himeko, they're gonna profit off of this as well. And we also have a way to increase the stacks of single target, or it doesn't even need to be single target follow-up attacks, but even Ratio and Topaz will do not bad if you pick the third buff, which gives you an additional stack of whimsicality every time a follow-up attack hits. But yeah, I think this version of Pure Fiction is really fun, and I know a lot of people don't like Pure Fiction, and I get that, but I like that it gives a lot of room for creativity, a lot of different teams and characters that you'd normally not use, you can use in Pure Fiction. Here I'm just deciding if I want to Acheron ult, otherwise I'll overcap, and I have the next few actions anyway, so I'm not going to build any Aventurine stacks from getting hit. But yeah, it's not like any of these endgame modes restrict team building either, in the sense that you still have access to your full roster, unlike a certain game mode that just came out in Genshin. I'm not going to get into that. I know they're going to work on it. It's the first time it came out. Great concept, but yeah, overall execution is just not it. Anyway, I think this account is at a point where it's been invested in vertically enough that it can comfortably clear all endgame modes without much trouble. As Pure Fiction is still a bit difficult if it's not a Herta Himeko one-side carry, which is gonna be this one. For the first two MOCs that I did clear, I think it was the Sam one and then the Aventurine one. Both of those came down to the very last cycle, 20 cycles remaining. I think I was still using, oh yeah, I was using Acheron one side, Clara on the other. I don't have Tingyan on this account, so my Clara team is omega scuffed. Like, it is bad. Actually, I do have a recording of me beating Aven, like, on the very last hit. Like, it was that close. It was actually harder than the Sam MOC, even though I had more time to make progress in the account. I think that MOC in particular was just so difficult, especially if you didn't have... So Boot Hill came out the patch after Aven, but he would have been perfect for that fight. Anyway, after getting Boot Hill, MOC, and even Apocalyptic Shadow are no longer really an issue, with Acheron on one side, Boot Hill on the other. Pure Fiction, again, we need to figure something out. Also, I didn't... my Acheron's not fast enough. Luckily, we did get the fall of attack break there. Otherwise, we'd have to eat another one. And, oh, no crit on the bug. But yeah, now we're able to finish it and just go ham on Japard. This account is completely free to play, and that won't change. I don't want to be that guy who's always like, free to play by the way, but I think it's important to mention once or twice. I don't really have any challenges or goals. I'm just kind of going about the game as if I were a free-to-play player. I think it's just about over 3 months old now. And yeah, not really. So actually, one of the main goals with this account is to pull for characters I don't get on my main. So this kind of alleviates some of the spending I might do on my main, but that's a bit cope. Definitely not going to go for every character, but this will let me enjoy a wider variety of them. I'm still not going to go for characters I don't like. And I think the first one that I'm completely skipping is going to be Jade. It's not that I don't like her, like she's a great character, but I just can't with her kit. Not something that I think I'll find fun. Might go for a light cone for Qingque, but that's about it. Also, maintaining an ult on HSR is actually a lot less of a pain than I thought initially, especially if it's on another server. You just swap servers on the same account, get it done with auto battle, not even like 10 minutes a day. And you don't even have to look at it, so it's not even 10 active minutes of your time. You can go about your daily routines, just... Ooh, and if you do daily check-ins, it actually counts the check-in for your entire account. So if you do it daily, it'll count for your NA, EU, whatever, and yeah, it's pretty convenient. Codes and stuff, you'll still have to input per server, per character, and I think if you do Twitch drops or any other codes like that, you might only be able to use it for one account, but you probably have a main that you want to prioritize anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So I got 27,000 on the first half, which is acceptable because the second half team will be doing most of the heavy lifting here. We did take the first buff, I think it's the first one, and you definitely want to take that with Herta Himeko because it reduces the number of whimsicality stacks you need to 6 instead of 10. And with Himeko Herta, their AoE follow-up attacks hitting 5 targets, giving you 5 per. You're going to be spamming this thing. And also it gives you 4 more hits on it, which increases the damage of whimsicality too, right? So definitely take that when you're running this comp and when you're running Jade as well. I'm sure some of you will be pulling Jade. And yeah, she's going to be a monster in Pure Fiction as well. Here we are. So Gallagher is actually great for proccing more of Himeko's follow-up attacks. And a little bit inefficient sometimes. Not getting... So one thing that I wish they'd add to Himeko and Blade is giving them an overstack meter for their charge. Jade has this, Aventurine has this, and it seems like more of a modern mechanic that they chose to implement after seeing how charge mechanics work, because you will overcap quite often and it is very wasteful. Like you'll be at 3 out of 3 and you probably broke 2 more enemies in the same attack. Hopefully, okay, it's very... I don't know historically, like I know they haven't gone back and made any retroactive changes to Genshin. I know they do that in FGO. They might do it in Honkai Impact 3rd, not sure either, but hoping they'll do something like that for HSR, make some of our less relevant characters more relevant today. And I don't really see a downside to doing that from a business perspective either, because you're not going to be losing sales by buffing a legacy character. If anything, you're probably going to get people wanting to pull their favorite character more. Like, say you buff Blade. It's just going to end up in more sales. People will still go for the latest and greatest, but more people will be interested in like a Blade rerun. But that's just me. Who knows how they run it at Hoyo? I mean, they're not in any need of more money at this point. They are very successful. Speaking of Hoyo, Zenless Zone Zero is out, so I hope everyone is enjoying it. I actually picked up Wuthering Waves on release. I wasn't that interested in it before it came out, but one thing led to another, and I'm playing it daily now. It's pretty fun, combat oriented, lots of issues, but they're working on fixing it. I love the core combat mechanics of the game, and it's also a breath of fresh air from just playing Hoyo games. It's very similar, of course, because open world gacha, kind of like Genshin, but not really. yeah, it's still something to do. I don't want to sell my soul to gacha. I don't want to play just gacha games or just make my entire life gacha. I think I'd go insane. Probably already am, but it is what it is. I don't think I'll be making any Wuthering Waves content. It's just something for me to do for fun. Okay, actually that's not true. When I do stream, that might be something that comes up. It seems like a really fun game to stream because of all the challenges and just the way the combat works in that game, and you know, you can make fun of people for their skill issues. Very easy game to backseat as well. No, I think it'll be fun to play, but I don't think I'll make any specific like standalone videos for it. Also, yeah, we just hit 60k, so there's my 3-star quota for this. Don't have to worry about pure fiction anymore. This deer is stuck in time thanks to Ruan Mei. Honestly, Ruan Mei is such a ridiculous character. I think I don't want to say I think everyone should pull for her, because if you don't like her, definitely don't go for her. But yeah, she is she's definitely, if there was one character that I had to recommend people to get, and just one, it'd be Ruan Mei. How did we get there? How did we get there? But this fight is over. We're not going to be able to beat the deer. We are not that crazy on this account yet, but still respectable. 3 stars. Not the craziest run, but yeah. Let's take a look at our builds. Collect the rewards here. And yeah, just showing you, we have the alt buff, whimsicality with this team, and then the reduce charging points and deal 4 more instances of damage with whimsicality. So let's try to go in order. Acheron E0S1. So one thing that I do want to do on this account is, oh yeah, 39.3 of effect hit rate, completely dead rolls. Maxed her out. She's got pretty decent relics. I think I've only done like 100 cavern runs, so what you see is what you get. I don't have, yeah, a lot of these pieces are pretty cope. We don't have, yeah, that's the problem with early accounts. You don't have good relic quality just yet. Some of them are kind of lucky, like you'll see. Somehow I got an S4 resolution all off banner. That is like, that was one of the biggest pickups and why I kind of went into this direction. But yeah, again, you can see these are just picking up scraps from pieces and just making do. Okay, 10 speed on fleet planer, you know, that's pretty good. E6, she was on a lot of banners. Aventurine, so my priorities for this account were to get 2 sustains, 2 main buffers. So I got Sparkle, and then I just got Ruan Mei, and then picked 2 main DPS. So we have good coverage all around, and make use of the Herta, make use of the Himeko, and that way we can clear all the game modes without much difficulty. I did do Swarm, I did do Golden Gears, even Conundrum 12. Aventurine is kind of a cheat code for those though. He kind of just trivializes survivability. Guinaifen is definitely the one that can be improved the most on, like she is very squishy too. Like I'm not going to put too much investment in her because I feel like there will be more units to go for eventually. Also, whenever I was farming Pioneer, I didn't get a single speed, not Pioneer, Prisoner, single Prisoner speed boots. So she's just rocking 2-piece attack, 2-piece attack. She's not very strong. Well, she's not really doing much damage. Gallagher, built him for break, but you know, he's a good all around, as you can see. He isn't just locked in a break as well. You'll notice that my talent levels aren't amazing, but we're getting there. We're working on it. It takes time for sure, leveling everything up. E6, I did get a lot of him off of Acheron and off of Ruan Mei banner. I think I picked him for the event too. I just pulled past Self and Mirror because, okay, let me explain this story. I wanted Boot Hill's signature so bad. I got to like 39 pity or something on the light cone banner, lost a Yan chain cone, which isn't even being used. So I had like maybe 20 days left to use the guarantee. I cleared the map. I started achievement hunting. I did everything I could. Ended up at 64 pity on the light cone banner. Didn't get it. So Miss Boot Hill's Light Cone. Maybe I'll go for it in the future. And this time around, I just picked up Ruan Mei's. It's just, man, I have memory of the past. It is S1. Oh yeah, I lost 50-50 to E1 Himeko on the Boot Hill banner, but it is what it is. Okay, so Herta Build, 7,100 with an S5 breakfast. The nice thing about Herta and Himeko is you can farm the Glamoth domain and just mix 2 pieces until you work towards your 4-piece Grand Duke. So it's very efficient for farm. Oh my god, my Salsoda pieces are really sad. Like, not a single crit roll other than that initial one, which is, yeah, it is what it is. Boot Hill is, kind of sad light cone choice, but what can you do? Anyway, this is getting long enough. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.